Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the story about Naruto. What if Naruto mastered Dōjutsu? Part 9. Hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, please do support for more awesome content and also hit the subscribe button and share this video with your friends. And also support the creator of this fanfic. I have created many playlists, check it out in the channel. So let's start the video. Would Rimi Shiranui and Sushi Uzumaki Uchiha please come down to the field? Called out Darui with a yawn, gaining a sweat drop from the crowd. Why don't you both just forfeit? Say that there's nothing more to prove, or that sensei told you to never fight or something. Stated Izumi. Sensei would be angry if we did that. Stated Rimi. Would he? Konoha stresses teamwork to the max. Besides, you both showed enough to make Chunin, stated Izumi. I suppose, whoever won would have to fight you anyway. Stated Shisui. Would you two just fight? It would be best to show all your skills, even if you lose, than to show no skills and tie. Stated the Iwa Genin, lazing back on the bench in the contestant box. You just want them weak, so that you have an easier chance to win. Stated Izumi. If they both forfeit, then the winner of our match will win the tournament, stated Tribune with a deadpan tone of voice. Are all Konoha ninja idiots when they are not fighting? What the fuck is wrong with these people? Why does Lord Inoki want to kill their sensei so badly? Oh, right, stated Izumi, rubbing the back of his head, emulating a younger Naruto. He's hiding something. Sensei said to signal him if anything was fishy. Cage box. So not only are two Konoha Genin fighting in the semi-finals, but two of your students? Very interesting. Stated Inoki, his eyes trained on the field, studying the movements of the Genin. It's astounding the line of teachers you have in Konoha. Tobirama Senju taught Hiruzen Sarutobi, who taught Jiraiya of the Sannin, who taught Minato Namikaze, who taught Kakashi Haddock, who taught you, and now you have three students who are going to make Chunin in their first exam. Stated A, who was once again considering getting his own team. I'm not the one who should get credit, the credit is all theirs. Stated Naruto, as he gazed over to the contestant box. His eyes widened for a second before his gaze snapped back to the field. That was the signal of a possible invasion. What could have happened for Izumi to signal? How did I miss that? Exam field. Begin. Rimi shot backwards and drew out two kunai as Shisui rocketed forward, pulling his sewing needle sword and going for his girlfriend's legs, hoping to end the fight quickly, but had to dodge when Rimi charged wind chakra to her kunaes and swung, barely missing Shisui's legs. Both fighters were separated when an invisible gold and blue blur blew past them, a loud thumping sound echoing from the wall of the stadium across from the cage box. Everyone turned their heads to see the young Hokage elbow deep in two blank masked men's chests, blood running down his arms. Only A had seen him move, and even to him, it was a blur. Sasuke? Get Izumi out of here. A. Akatsuki is here. Shouted Naruto as he ripped his arms out of the two dead masked men and appeared next to Rimi and Shisui, wrapping an arm around each of them and teleporting away. Namikaze's bunker. Naruto flashed into the bunker that he had constructed after the massacre in Kiri, Rimi, and Shisui under his arm. There is literally no time to explain. This bunker is only accessible by me, my bodyguards, and Sasuke. The Chunin exam is being attacked by Danzo and most likely Akatsuki if the chakra signatures I sensed earlier are any indication. You two were targets, so is Izumi, you both know why. Sasuke should be here any second with him. Stay here until I come back for you. If I don't come back. Naruto was interrupted when Sasuke appeared behind Izumi under his arm. It's worse than we thought, it's Orochimaru, Danzo, his army, Iwa, and a couple of Akatsuki members. Fuck. Let's get going, we need to be there. Stated Naruto as he grabbed Sasuke's shoulder and disappeared in a flash. Sensei will come back. I know that he will. Stated Izumi with a smile. Tribune seems conflicted, why? Was he against the invasion? Dad was there, I could feel it. Battlefield. Naruto and Sasuke flashed back into the stadium, most of the civilians were already being evacuated. They arrived just in time to stop a nameless root from running through Yugito, who was busy fending off a group of Iwa shinobi. Naruto appeared literally inside the root member, his fist implanted into his skull. This ends now. The whole stadium froze as they felt two godly chakra bursts. Everyone turned to the source of the power. In the middle of the stadium, two literal pillars of chakra were exploding from a blonde and a black-haired shinobi, killing intent rolling off of them, literally paralyzing the weaker shinobi. Both counter ninja Sasuke and the Biju killer were showing off their outrageous chakra levels. A. B. Protect the civilians. May Gaara. Protect Yugito and Temari. Shouted Naruto, beginning to gather nature chakra. Dope, what are we gonna do? Questioned Sasuke, his eyes morphing into the fabled eternal Manjukyu Sharingan. I'm going to kill every Odo, Root, and Iwa ninja I come across. Use the seal to stay behind me. Kill anyone who I miss. Stated Naruto, his pupils turning into white stars as the whites of his eyes turned blue. As he entered Sage mode, the white stars turned golden. I never thought I would need this level. Naruto blurred from target to target, a wind release and lightning release Rasengans in his right and left hand as he slaughtered hundreds of Iwa and Root Nin inside of 15 seconds, Sasuke using the Hiraishin seal to keep up. As he took out everyone that wasn't in Naruto's path of destruction. Everyone that wasn't in the Uchiha path of destruction simply stared in awe. As sparks of blonde popped up around the arena, blood exploding like a volcano from every group of Odo, Root, and Iwa ninja that the blonde passed through. The ninja in their way could do nothing but look on in frozen panic as the flashes of yellow, blue, and black grew closer and closer until they too were swallowed up in the blitzkrieg of death. With A. B. I believe that Dad would be very proud. Stated A. as he watched the bloodshed with an odd sense of detachment. It's like someone combined Dad and Minato. If that isn't the stuff of nightmares, then I don't know what is. I know what you mean, brokerage. Stated B. as he killed another Root that was attempting to kill a civilian before turning back to watching the blonde. He's like you, Flash. Your son is the kindest man I know, but when it comes time to fight, he turns all that off. Thank God I only had to fight you once. I couldn't have survived a second time. And I doubt I could beat your boy at all. With May. It's like when the yellow flash took out that the Iwa squad stated to Yugito, who had heard from A, that the slaughter of Iwa was the reason B was too terrified to ever fight Naruto. It was also the reason that Darui, who had been a chunin at the time, slept with a teddy bear. Let's just hope that he can still take Inoki, Danzo, and Orochimaru while we handle whatever Akatsuki members make their way here. Stated Gaara, the girls agreeing with him. None of them were prepared for a giggle escaping from the Kazukiage. Like anyone could stand against him. Back to Naruto and Sasuke. The Uchiha team stopped in the center of the arena as all of the surrounding Iwa and Root Nin, along with most of the Odo Nin, fell to the ground, blood and gore exploding from them as they fell. Within a minute, all visible enemies were dead, and Naruto and Sasuke stood back to back, waiting for the next threat to emerge. So much like your father. Blonde hair, blue eyes. You're faster than he was though. I'll enjoy killing you to get revenge for my fallen shinobi. Stated Inoki as he levitated above them. Yes, you will finally die here today, brat. Then Sasuke-kun will be all mine. Stated Orochimaru, emerging from the ground, his implanted Sharingan eyes glowing red. It's time I take my rightful place as the Kage of Konoha. When your great-grandfather passed me for that fool Sarutobi, he doomed the village. Now it will thrive under a true ruler, declared Danzo, who was now standing behind the duo. Sasuke? Retreat. Demanded Naruto, getting a surprised look from the Uchiha. Naruto didn't give him time to react. I said retreat. Akatsuki is here, and I need you to hold them off while I deal with these idiots. Sasuke simply nodded and blurred over to where four cloaked figures stood. Asuma, A, Darui, and May appeared next to him. Gaara, B, and Yugito were grouped together, waiting patiently to help whoever needed it. The cage guards were helping evacuate the remaining genin and civilians along with Kumo's ninja. Foolish move, boy, you cannot stand against us. Stated Inoki smugly. You are a fool. You say that you did this to honor your fallen shinobi, yet you watched me slaughter another 500 and only appear after you assume that I have been tired out. Who did my father kill that would allow the great Inoki of both scales to abandon his village to get revenge on him by killing his son? Questioned Naruto, using the distraction to once again gather nature chakra, not wanting to use any of the seals to refill his reserves. You're going to die today anyway. Your son of a bitch father killed my son and daughter. My daughter had just given birth to my granddaughter the year before, but still went out to the battlefield to assist in our conquest. Now I'm going to kill his son to pay him back. Stated Inoki. I know of all of your abilities and how to defeat them. You use dust release, but I can constantly disrupt the airflow around me along with charging that same air with lightning chakra, defeating your dust release. Orochimaru, You have Fugaku's Sharingan, very strong, however you are not an Uchiha or part Senju. You can't use it for extended periods of time without suffering from it. Plus that weak revival jutsu, 10 times is the limit you can use it before the body you're inhabiting completely rejects you. And Danzo. You have Shisui's right eye. Plus 10 more on that arm of yours. I'll just have to kill you 10 times. Stated Naruto with a smirk. During his little speech he fully recharged his nature chakra. This is your last chance. I will kill all of you if you do not retreat. Inoki spread his palms, forming a small cube of chakra. HMPH. No one can defeat Dust. Really, Inoki was cut off when faster than he could track. A fist caught him in the gut as searing pain exploded through his body. Uzumaki style. Meteor punch. Shouted Naruto, his fist coming out of the aged cage's back, lightning chakra sparking off of it, and blood and bone covering it. I told you that you would die. And because you waged war on my village, I'll be sure to wipe Iwa off the map. I'm going to kill your son-in-law and granddaughter, and it's all your fault. Inoki couldn't believe it, he just ran through. He could feel the life leaving his body as he fell to the ground, smacking the ground with a sickening thud. He wasn't sure when the blonde had pulled his arm out of his gut, but he was sure that it was no longer there. This is how it ends? I die by the hand of a 16-year-old brat? I was a fool. Katsuchi, Kuratsuchi, goodbye. All fighting had stopped, as everyone either watched in horror or in awe of the fact that the Biju killer had just killed the Tsukikage. The short man lay on his back, a fist-sized hole in his abdomen. I told you I would kill you all. For the good of the ninja world, I cannot allow you to live any longer. Stated Naruto, as his eyes morphed into golden backdrops and dazzling blue concentric rings around a small pupil. The last man to wield these eyes saved the world. Now I have to kill you both to do the same. Danzo found himself next to face off against the blonde when he felt his chest explode, only to look down and see a hand poking out of his chest, the blonde standing behind him. Danzo's lone black eye is locked with Naruto's golden and blue. Their eyes stayed locked as Danzo began to shimmer away into nothingness, only for Naruto to disappear a moment later. Danzo standing where the blonde was, a kunai with a wind blade protruding from it, and into the area that the blonde's chest had inhabited. Orochimaru, would you like to join us? Questioned Danzo as he removed bandages around the right side of his face, revealing Shisui's implanted eye, hoping to keep up with the blonde brat. I didn't want to ruin your fun. Stated Orochimaru, his Sharingan eyes scanning for the blonde. His eyes widened when a Rasengan shredded through his back and out his chest. Naruto retreated and watched as Orochimaru crawled out of his own mouth. Pedo, that is by far the most disgusting technique in the world. Ah, but I am immortal with this jutsu. And now you will die, and I will claim my prize. Stated Orochimaru, who put off the corner of his eye, picked out a black blur descending upon him. He leapt out of the way as a black staff crushed into the ground where he had been standing. Come to finally die? It's the fool who is overconfident that always loses. Jiraiya taught you that long ago. I've been training with him for the last 3 years. Stated Hiruzen Sarutobi, who stood next to the crater he had just created, holding Enma in bow staff form in his right hand. Black samurai-style armor hung on his surprisingly muscular frame. I've been training since our last fight, waiting for you to grow confident and reveal yourself. Now you will both die here today, just as Inoki did. Old man, which one do you want? Questioned Naruto, his muscles tensed and his eyes pulsing with chakra. Both. Smiled Sarutobi as he disappeared, slamming Enma into Orochimaru's face, crushing his right cheekbone before spinning around and extending Enma to swipe at Danzo, only for Danzo to leap over the bow staff. Still, as quick as ever Danzo. Makes me wonder why you ever took to the shadows. I was forced to take to the shadows when Tobirama elected you over me. Had he not made that mistake, then you would have done the same as I did. Stated Danzo, pumping twice the amount of wind chakra to his kunai, creating a 5-foot-long chakra blade. Hiruzen. That wind blade can damage me. You cannot block, only deflect. Stated the staff in Sarutobi's hand, growing an eye and staring at the wind blade. Seems his control is getting better if his wind chakra can harm you. Stated Hiruzen with a smirk. He thrusted Enma at the half-blind ex-root commander, barely missing after Danzo dropped to the ground and rolled away, once again narrowly avoiding Enma. I believe it's time I introduce my own summon. Stated Danzo after he rolled to his feet and flashed through hand seals. Summoning. Baku. Summoning. Manda. shouted Orochimaru, appearing next to Danzo, flashing through the same hand seals. In the cloud that enveloped a majority of the stadium, two giant beasts emerged, a mammoth purple snake and an equally large elephant-tiger hybrid. "Old man, I can't summon any of the toads here, we would destroy the village. You take Danzo and Orochimaru, I'll get the beasts," stated Naruto, falling in line with the 70-year-old man. "Exactly, we will have to separate them first," stated Sarutobi. "I'm going to need some wind. The strongest you have. Fire style. Grand Dragon Bomb. Uzumaki style. Elemental Dragon. Wind," shouted Naruto as he and Sarutobi unleashed equally titanic dragons that intertwined as they rocketed toward the summons. Danzo took action, using a burst of wind chakra to help the Baku move away from the raging hellfire, while Manda and Orochimaru moved underground. Danzo's Baku didn't have time to land when Sarutobi extended Enma and smacked the soaring hybrid into the ground. Danzo was forced to dismount his summon when the still enlarged Enma staff came speeding at his midsection. Danzo had just made the biggest mistake of his life. He forgot that Naruto was still in the area. He felt a chakra signature appear next to him and turned just in time to see the blonde deliver a punch to his face and a slash down his Sharingan, laced arm with the splash sword. The resulting explosion destroyed the implanted eyes, removed the arm, and shredded the rest of his side, Naruto. Danzo hit the ground with a thump, writhing in agony from the pain of having the whole right side of his body blown away. Why isn't it working? Izanagi isn't active. The whole arm is gone, that fucking blonde. I'll make sure he never sees another day. Realizing he was losing blood fast, he activated the seal in his chest, causing a seal array to spread onto the ground surrounding him, including his Baku. Naruto acted quickly, speeding to Sarutobi and flashing them both out of the range of the sealing array, as everything in a 50-foot sphere around the ex-root commander was sealed into his body. "One down. One left to go," stated Sarutobi after Naruto set him down. Naruto's eyes widened as he once again grabbed Sarutobi and jumped away a moment before the giant snake's head erupted from the ground. "Old man, I'm going to take out Manda, get Orochimaru," stated Naruto as he released Hiruzen and rocketed into the air, unsealing his three swords. The splash sword in his right hand, the claymore in his left, and the Nadachi in his teeth. "I'm getting too old for this shit," mumbled Naruto as he began spinning at impossible speed and descending towards the purple cobra. Uzumaki style. Tri-blade cyclone. Naruto pumped wind chakra into all three blades, his rotation, and the angle he held all three blades forming a literal tornadoes that expanded outward, ripping into Manda, who let out a horrible screech as he thrashed away from the cyclone and dispelled back to the summoned realm, but not before releasing an outrageous amount of blood. "You brat. You're ruining everything," shouted Orochimaru in rage, both from the loss of his deal with Danzo and the likely loss of Manda. "I'll fucking kill you. I'm going to kill you, burn Konoha to the ground, and kill everyone that survives." Orochimaru began hyperventilating as his chakra flared wildly. Orochimaru glared at the duo before smiling evilly and sinking into the ground. "Until next time, Naruto-kun, old man. That damn snake, I'll kill a pile of shit if it's the last thing I do," mumbled Naruto angrily. Taking a look towards the other fighters, seeing the men in black robes retreating, he relaxed. Only to hear a thump behind him. Spinning around, he saw Sarutobi on the ground in an unnatural position. "Old man. Shit. Medic. You gotta stop doing this after every single invasion." In the stands. "You were right, grandfather. To think the kid I helped out all those years ago is now unquestionably the strongest man in the world," stated the cloaked man in the stands. "Glad my son is in good hands. I could have raised him." "I raised you, didn't I? Even if he's an Uzumaki?" questioned the man next to him. "I've met that blonde, you know. I know, Gigi, you told me when I revived you, and you weren't exactly the kindest person. Plus we didn't meet till that slave of yours confronted me when I faked my death and fled Konoha," stated the first. Obito was not a slave. That fact should make quite a sense that he and that brat Uzumaki crossed me. Must have been when you told them to abandon the plan. I'd be pissed too. At least this plan stands a chance. Fighters box. Deidara Nissan was right. Lord Inoki is a fool. To attack the son of the Yellow Flash and sacrifice even more men. Nissan said that this would happen. Though Tribune, as he looked out over the battlefield. "I can't go back. I won't serve under fools and with Uncle Katsuchi next in line." Everyone in Konoha gathered in the streets surrounding the Hokage Tower. They had been informed that the Godame was about to make a speech, thought about what the civilians did not know, but most of them had been guessing. Some thought that Naruto was honoring the ninja that made Chunin, while others believed that he was naming a successor. The ninja had heard rumors that the third had died in the Kumo Chunin exam invasion, but no one had seen Asuma or anyone that was actually there, so they could not confirm this. Everyone was ripped from their thoughts and conversations when Naruto's booming voice erupted over the city. People of Konoha, I have called this assembly to honor a great man. During the invasion of the Chunin exams in Kumo, Hiruzen Sarutobi, the god of shinobi, and Sandaime Hokage, died as a result of wounds received in combat during a confrontation that left himself, Danzo Shimura, and Inoki of both scales dead. Stated Naruto from the top of the Hokage Tower, using a voice transmission jutsu to amplify his voice. A loud gasp echoed through the crowd, many cried, some were in shock, but all were saddened. As most of you know, I thought of him as a grandfather, having never known my own, or my mother, and father. It saddens me that he is gone, but it also fills me with pride, for I know that he is not, and will never be forgotten. As the Godame Hokage, I Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Senju, hereby name July 24th, Hiruzen Sarutobi Day, in honor of the greatest Hokage to ever hold the position. Roaring applause shook the city at Naruto's declaration. Only once had a day be named after a man, and that was when Madara Uchiha and Hashirama Senju formed Konoha. In honor of the late Sandaime, all missions are off for the day, and no stores are required to be open. Take today to celebrate the life of our greatest Hokage. Also, anyone that wishes to help out with his funeral, visit the Sarutobi clan compound. Asuma is making the arrangements. In Iwa, do you accept the title of 4th Tsuchikage? Questioned a nameless counselor. Before him stood Katsuchi, son-in-law of Inoki, known to be the best earth user in the village, and not counting the Kazukiyage's use of sand, in the world, and to have the largest chakra reserves in Iwa, even more than the two Jinchuriki, he was the best pick to be the newest Earth Shadow. Though he was an immensely powerful fighter, he was an even greater leader. He had never led a squad that had failed their mission, and most importantly, he hated the Namikaze line more than any other man or woman in Iwa. And he was capable of using the dust element. I accept the position of Yondaime Tsuchikage. In Konoha, 1 week later. Naruto once again sat behind his desk, reading through different scrolls and signing documents, though he was not actually sitting behind his desk, that was a shadow clone. The real Naruto was sitting on the old, worn-out couch in his office, lost in thought. Iwa should be sending their demands for me to kill their Kage soon. No doubt they will want my head. And I can't counterclaim. As old man died from exhaustion. Hopefully they won't declare war. Naruto-kun, a scroll from Iwa has arrived, stated Mai, the aging secretary from the doorway. A very troubled look on her face. Most likely because she and Hiruzen had been very good friends. Send for the branches, Sasuke, Sakura, Tsunade, and the Naras. Then you may take the rest of the day off. You never took time to help get over his loss. Stated Naruto as he got up and took the scroll from her. You haven't either, Naruto-kun, stated the elderly woman. You were closer to him than any of us, maybe even more than Asuma-kun and Jiraiya. 10 minutes later. What did they request? Questioned Shikaku, who had just walked through the door with Shikamaru, taking a spot on the couch in front of Naruto's desk. Beside him sat Kakashi, along with Itachi, Sasuke, and Zabuza. In the chairs on either side sat Sakura, Tsunade, Shizune, and Asuma. We're still waiting for Guy. Stated Zabuza, he and Kakashi holding matching books, flipping pages at the same time in a fascinating mirror image of each other. Fear not, my friends, I am here, shouted Guy, who had just jumped through the window and landed in the last chair. The group collectively held up cards with the number 10, however Kakashi and Zabuza simply looked towards Guy and faked being surprised to see Guy before asking in unison. Hey Guy, when did you get here? Youthful masked men. Now that Guy is here, what did they demand? Questioned Shikaku, nodding off, even, as Naruto splashed water at him. Troublesome. They want me, Azumi, Shisui, Rimi, and anyone I've ever been in a romantic relationship with delivered to them, so they can execute us. Stated Naruto without emotions, though everyone there could see his rage. What? That's outrageous. I can see them demanding you, but why would they want to kill the brats and your girlfriends? Questioned Tsunade, her motherly instincts kicking into overdrive at the very thought of losing her metaphorical son and grandsons. Didn't they demand the same when the fourth ended the third great shinobi war? Questioned Sakura, her outrageous book smarts shining through. They want the Namikaze line to end with me. That includes the 3 I've taught and the ones I loved. Stated Naruto with a sigh. Shikaku. Are we capable of handling war right now? The question made everyone's eyes widen, though it seemed that Shikaku had anticipated it. Yes. As long as it's only Iwa and smaller nations we are up against, we will be fine. Though if Akatsuki joins them, we will need the help of either Suna and Kiri or Kumo. Fuck Iwa, they should be wiped out. Stated Zabuza, him, and Kakashi, turning a page. Iwa has started every widespread war the elemental countries have ever had. I think the world would be better off without them. Perhaps we should send a preemptive strike? Stated Sasuke with a raised eyebrow. Kumo used one to prevent a fourth world war when Kiri threatened to unleash Utatanka after they saw what the Kyuubi did to this place. Stated Zabuza. No, Iwa wouldn't back down if we threw the first punch, and we don't have the manpower to wipe out the whole village without Konoha being left unguarded. Stated Itachi. You're right. Even with all of my abilities I would need everyone in this room, as well as Jiraiya. That would leave only the Anbu to guard the village. Stated Naruto. Then we should send a demand back for the death of my dad. Seeing as he also died as a result of that battle. Stated Asuma. After all, you killed everyone from Iwa that was in that stadium besides the genin, so we could say it was caused by Inoki. What should we demand? In Iwa, 3 days later. They did what? Shouted Katsuchi, his huge frame lumbering over his desk. Konoha sent back a demand of their own, claiming Lord Inoki is the reason that their Sandaime is dead. Stated Kuretsuchi, reading off of the scroll they had received that morning. They want yours and my head. As well as any other living member of our family. That is outrageous. That son of a bitch killed 500 of our men and my father-in-law, then they demand that we hand over even more? Questioned Katsuchi to himself, not expecting an answer. I can kill him, for a price. Stated a voice from the corner of the room, Katsuchi and Kuretsuchi both falling into a battle-ready stance. Now, no need to be hostile, after all, I plan on killing a pest you want dead, if the price is right. A man with countless piercings and orange hair walked out of the shadows, his eyes closed. I'm glossing over the fact that you somehow got past my guards. Just how do you plan to do that? He's one of if not the strongest men in the world, if he can defeat my father-in-law, Danzo Shimura, countless Kiri ninja, and a fucking Biju, how do you plan on beating him? Questioned Katsuchi. Simple, stated the man, as he opened his eyes. I can beat anyone, I am the god of aim. Konoha, 3 days later. Naruto was looking over the latest message from the Tsuchikage, and to say the least, he was not amused. Hokage-sama. I am sending this as a warning. You have one more chance to give yourself, Shisui Uzumaki Uchiha, Azumi Namikaze, Rimi Shiranui, and anyone you have been romantically involved with over to us, or Iwa will declare open war on Konoha. Katsuchi, Yondaime Tsuchikage. Naruto considered his next move when a sinister plan formed in his mind. Itachi. Bring me those Iwa spies that Jiraiya captured. 1 week later, Iwa. Katsuchi looked over his village, contemplating his next move. Konoha had yet to send back anything, and he was rapidly losing patience. That coward Namikaze must be scared. No matter. With the help of Akatsuki, he will be dead, and Konoha will fall. He was taken from his musings when a Chunin busted into the room, panting heavily and pale white. Sir, Hokage at the gate. Kitsuchi's eyes widened, he took off as fast as he could, blowing through the wall to his right, his mind racing as he sped through the village. He's here? Is he going to attack? Is he planning on giving himself up? He stopped dead in his tracks when he came into view of the gate. His eyes locked onto the form of the Godame Hokage, his 3 students behind him, and a group of Iwa ninjas behind them, all chained at the wrist with chakra reinforcing seals. Katsuchi. I've come to end this nonsense once and for all. Behind me are 6 spies my shinobi have captured inside my walls. You have 2 options. You call this whole thing off and I release these men to you, or you are stupid enough to continue these charades and I kill them all in front of you. Stated Naruto. I won't stop until you are dead, Namikaze, shouted Katsuchi, rushing the blonde, only for the cries of stop to reach his ears. He looked to see the men he knew to be his spies looking at him. I'm horror before their foreheads began to glow with blue kanji. I warned you. I placed explosive seals on their heads, and now boom. Katsuchi watched in horror and rage as his shinobi heads exploded, one by one. Blood and bits of brain rocketing in all directions. He felt his blood boil as each head exploded until he finally lost it and rushed the grinning blonde, a punch aimed at his head. I had the last laugh. Suddenly, the blonde in front of him turned into one of the shinobi he had seen killed, his face pale, his body covered in about 100 explosive notes. Sir. Boom. The shinobi in front of him detonated, causing a blast to take out a huge portion of the area around them. Katsuchi was replaced by the explosion, taking the full blast of it to his exposed midsection. His body lost all rigidity as the bloody blob skidded and skipped down the main road, his villagers staring in horror at the thought of losing another cage. In a rock formation overlooking the village gates, Sasuke and Itachi watched as medics rushed to stabilize their leader, each Uchiha having their EMS activated. He fell for it. Of course he did. You had him in a genjutsu. To think the front four were Naruto, Shisui, Azumi, and Rimi, while I used a genjutsu to make him think that Naruto killed more of his shinobi. Stated Sasuke, let's head back. Naruto is going to be happy it went so well. Next day, Iwa Hospital. Katsuchi awoke, his body searing in pain as his eyes widened and his body tensed. Lord Tsuchikage. You must relax. You have suffered near fatal injuries and we have only rarely patched you back together, shouted a doctor next to him, injecting a paralyzing agent into his IV. This will keep you from moving. It's a paralyzing agent used to help perform amputations. Luckily only your ribs were badly damaged and we managed to heal any crippling injuries. Katsuchi relaxed as the paralyzer took effect, pain leaving his body as the doctor injected morphine as well. Where is Namikaze? I would think in Konoha, sir, stated a jonin that had been guarding his room. He escaped? He was standing at our front gate and you let him escape, shouted the infuriated Earth Shadow, surprising the doctor when his body started moving again. What are you talking about, sir? Namikaze was never here? You were talking with our spies from Konoha at the gate when you got angry and moved to hit him. Next thing we knew, he exploded, taking out most of the gate, the other spies, and yourself, stated the jonin, his voice showing the confusion. What? Namikaze was here. He activated the seals that blew their heads off, stated Katsuchi. Sir, we've watched the tapes from the gate, he was never there. Konoha. Naruto sat behind his desk, in front of him sat Sasuke and Itachi, both had smirks on their faces. Naruto had a matching one on his own face. Very good, you two. Though I would have liked to crippled more of their forces. It's too bad we had to resort to killing those spies though. Yes, it is a shame that they didn't want to desert us. Though it is very honorable of them to send themselves to their deaths instead of living as traitors to their countries, stated Itachi with a nod. Any news out of Iwa? Questioned Sasuke. No, only what we already know. Katsuchi was injured in the explosion, but he is already recovering. Iwa's public relations has put out a report stating that he is already stabilized and resuming his duties as Kage, stated Itachi. Though it is possible that he could be bedridden, the explosion happened about 3 feet from his ribcage. Unless he was charging his ribs with chakra, his ribs should have been shattered. Iwa has hired Akatsuki, stated a deep voice behind Naruto. The group turned to the window to see Jiraiya sitting on the windowsill. Hey pervy sage, decide to take a gander at the hot springs? Joked Naruto, though the seriousness on Jiraiya's face forced Naruto to sit up straight. Any news on what they hired them for? To kill you. Their leader is rumored to be handling the contract personally, stated Jiraiya. Pain gasped Itachi, causing them to all stare at him questioningly. He calls himself a god, and in many ways he is. From what I could gather, he defeated Hanzo the Salamander by himself. But what's more, he has the Rinnegan. Unbelievable to think I live to see 3 different people have the Rinnegan. 2 of them are my own students, Jiraiya stated to himself. Jiraiya, what do you mean 3 people, and only old man Ichiraku, Mikoto Uchiha, myself, and my father were your students, and unless that ramen-making old man has the Rinnegan, you better speak up, stated Naruto, his tone official and his own eyes boring into the toad Sannin. Jiraiya stared at his youngest student. He felt a strange mixture of pride and fear from the look on the young blonde's face. It was during the Second Great Shinobi War. Unknown. Well, seems you taught him well, stated a figure, face blocked by shadows. How do you figure it out? Naruto has been taught by me, Itachi, Gai, Kakashi, Asuma, Jiraiya-sama, and Hiruzen-sama, not to mention Zabuza Mamachi, And the Raikage stated another figure in the room, a beam of light hitting the back of his head, showing dark, short, spiky hair. Don't fool yourself. That boy is a senju, inside and out. His great-grandfather killed my brother in combat. And no senju could or would use a leader's own soldiers against him. Either you or that friend of yours taught him that. Aim. Sure you don't want help, sir? He is outrageously strong. Stated Kakazu. He very well may have killed more people than I have. No. The Nine Tails is of no concern to me. He may be strong by Jinchuriki standards, but I am a god. Nothing will stop me from my dream. Stated Nagato, his red hair shifting smoothly as he walked around the top floor of the tower. I will be going alone. That's fucking stupid. I'm literally immortal, and I don't want to fight that blonde prick with every member at my back, let alone by myself. Stated Haiden with a snort. Your powers are limited, mine are not. Stated Nagato as he continued to move around, stretching his legs and back. Nagato-kun, please let me come with you, pleaded Konan, her eyes pleading with the red-haired man. No, you will protect the village while I am gone. I do not trust that I won't try invading or getting spies into the village during my absence. Stated Nagato, staring at Konan, his glowing purple eyes boring into the woman's face. Fine, but at least use your paths to begin the fight and learn his abilities. Stated Konan. Nagato nodded. By this time in 1 week, Konoha will lose another leader. Konoha. Naruto was once again doing paperwork at his desk when he looked up at the picture on his desk, each one cracking at the same time, each crack going through someone in the picture. Shisui and Azumi from the Team 7 picture, Asuma, and Shizune from the 6 Branches picture, Tsunade, and himself from the Elders picture, and Yugito in her single picture. Naruto sat and stared at the picture for what seemed like hours, his brain flashing through different thoughts, though one was the most prominent. Yugito and Bachan never leave the village, and unless Azumi and Shisui were with me then they wouldn't either. Is Iwa going to invade? Naruto looked out of his window, staring up at his father's and great-grandfather's faces. What do I do? If they invade the village then everyone is at risk. Mai send me Niji, Hinata, and Hiashi Hyuga. -10 minutes later. Good, you're all here. I want more Hyuga watching the walls, more specifically, I want them watching for an invasion. Stated Naruto, not even waiting for the trio to take a seat. Iwa declared war? Questioned Hiashi. Naruto shook his head and turned the pictures around, showing cracks in the glass in front of the 6 people. I do my best not to be superstitious, but they all happened at the same time, and I felt something when it happened. Niji, curious, activated his Byakugan. Naruto, there is a glowing white residue in each of those cracks. It's like chakra, but it has no physical energy. Naruto turned his head back to the Hokage monument, where it looked like the mouth of Tobirama wavered slightly in a smile for the briefest of seconds. Naruto nodded and turned back to his 3 Hyuga. 1 man for every cardinal direction, and walking guards between them. Byakugans activated at all times. What are we looking for? Questioned Hiashi. A small group or single person wearing black cloaks with red clouds on them. Stated Naruto. Akatsuki? They would be bold enough to attack the entire village? Questioned Niji. Either their leader is coming, or it's a diversion for them to get the other tailed beast. Gaara can handle himself, but Azumi and Yugito cannot. I'm not worried about bees, he is the strongest Jinchuriki in the world. Stated Naruto. Hinata, I want you to send word to Gaara, warn him about Akatsuki possibly moving soon. I will contact B. Iwa next day. You're looking well. Katsuchi sat up straight. Looking at the corner of his hospital room. He watched as the orange-haired figure appeared from the corner, his glowing purple eyes staring blankly at the injured leader. How do you keep getting past my guards? That is none of your concern. I will kill the Hokage in 3 days. Where is my money? Questioned the orange-haired man. Pain didn't truly care about the money, he just wanted the Tsuchikage to know that he was under his thumb. After all, they had already captured both the Yonbi and Gobi. I still refuse to believe that you can kill him. I won't pay you until I have his head. Retorted Katsuchi, sounding much more confident and powerful than a bedridden man should. You are not in position to make such demands. I want the money now, but, as a show of good faith, I will accept half of it now, and half when I bring his head. Rice Country. In a dark room filled with countless scrolls, sat a pale figure on a throne. His eyes squinted, and his breathing labored. Kabuto, why is this body failing me so fast? It's only been 3 years. It should last 5. I don't know myself, sir. It could be that the fight you had with Namek has weakened it, but I don't know how that would be possible. Stated Kabuto from his spot in front of the pale Sannin. What body would you like prepared? How much Danzo were you able to recover? Questioned Orochimaru. Unfortunately, his arm was destroyed beyond recovery, and his eye was missing. He probably sealed himself within himself to keep anyone else from getting it. Answered Kabuto. Very well then, prepare Gurren, she will be my next vessel. Aim. I told you he wouldn't fucking go alone. Stated, the foul-mouthed Haiden to the man next to him, who was his partner Kakazu. You are going with a separate mission. You two are to capture the 2 tails while Kisame and Toby capture the 3 tails. Sasori and Deidara are going to Suna to capture the 1 tail. If needed, I will send a path for you. States Nagato as he continued reading each of the blonde's battle reports. His frown continued to grow farther into each report he read. Can use all elements, knows various S-rank ninjutsu for water, fire, wind, and water, master of Taijutsu and Kenjutsu, fastest man on the planet, strongest man on the planet, known to use Genjutsu when against multiple opponents, he has no weaknesses. Thought a disgruntled pain as he leafed through battle reports. Wait. That's it. I have found your weakness, Naruto-kun. Naruto tossed and turned in his bed as nightmares plagued his dreams. Slight whimpers were heard from his throat as he seemed to physically struggle against himself before he began shaking. Naruto, Naruto, Naruto shot awake to find Yugito hugging him and slightly shaking him. It's okay, I'm here for you, Naruto, it was just a bad dream, it's okay. While Yugito was comforting Naruto, Naruto rethought his dream. Flashback to dream. Naruto looked around in horror. Surrounding the village were dozens of mammoth salamanders, each leveling the trees and wildlife around the village with bursts of fire. Naruto attempted to stop them, but he kept getting blown back by an invisible force. Suddenly, screams erupted from the village. He saw 7 men killing civilians and shinobi alike, demanding to know where he was. He saw a shadowy figure with purple eyes, black ripples emulating from the pupil. He heard a final sentence from the man. With your death, the world shall know pain, and through pain, we will gain peace. End of dream. Naruto-kun, what's wrong? Was it a bad dream? Questioned Yugito, the blanket forgotten, as she hugged him close. Suddenly, Azumi came flying into the room, jumped on the bed, and hugged Yugito. Naruto-ni. I had a bad dream. Can I sit with you for a while? What was your dream about, Azumi? Questioned Naruto kindly and calmly, despite the fact he was still jittery. Maybe this will help me take my mind off of that nightmare. I was training with Yugito Ni-chan and Mr. Turtle when the forest around the village started on fire. I saw you leave to go put the fire out, but then a masked guy, a guy with silver hair, a tall blue guy, and a masked guy came and fought me and Yugito, but they were too strong and they overpowered us even when I used Mr. Turtle's chakra, stated Azumi as he shivered against Yugito. Naruto has an incomprehensible look on his face as he hears the dream his adoptive little brother had, his mind racing as he compares it to his own dream. It's okay, Azumi, you can sleep in our bed tonight. Yugito-han, I need your help with something, that mumbled Naruto as he got up from the bed, letting Azumi rest as he and Yugito got up from the bed. Yugito, if Akatsuki invades, I want you to take the kids and lock yourself in the bunker. What? What's going on with Naruto-kun? Questioned Yugito, her eyes widening as she leaned into him. When the old man was young, he had a vision that my great-grandfather would be killed by Kumo Nin. 2 days later, the Kinkaku force pinned down his squadron and he sacrificed himself to save everyone else. Stated Naruto, remembering what Sarutobi had told him. I know, my grandfather was part of that force. He said that Tobirama-sama killed 15 of them before the Sandaime ran him through with his lightning spear. It was the reason he was elected. Replied Yugito, channeling an almost forgotten memory of her father. The problem is, I don't think that was a dream, I think it was a vision, stated by Naruto, getting a gasp from his Jinchuriki girlfriend. I need to go talk with Jiraiya and Tsunade. Can you help Azumi get to sleep? -10 minutes later, Jiraiya's home. Pervy Sage, I need to talk to you. Naruto called from the door of the former Namika's guest house, which Jiraiya was currently occupying with Tsunade. Jiraiya answered the door dressed in his normal attire. What gaki do you need? I'm about to make Tsunade a birthday cake. Stated the tall white-haired man. Did you just say that? Her birthday isn't until next month, stated Naruto in confusion. Kid, you have 3 girlfriends, one lives with you, figure it out. Stated Jiraiya. Naruto's eyes widened for a brief second before he continued. Well, she's at the hospital until 7 in the morning, so I need to talk to you. Stated Naruto, pushing his way into the guest house. So. Izumi had another nightmare, stated Naruto, as he sat in the living room of the small home. Kid, he's barely 10, and he's already a chunin, the stress is going to get to him, he'll be fine. Stated Jiraiya, I used to get them all the time, so did your old man. Naruto shook his head. We had the same dream, at the same time, from different viewpoints. I think it was a vision. Next morning, Naruto sat in his office, his eyes tired, and his head on his desk. If anyone knew the near limitless ball of energy, they would be shocked at his level of tiredness. You alright, Dobe? You look like hell. Questioned Sasuke, as he looked over his best friend, who was face down on his desk with his arms covering his head. Naruto's muffled voice came from under his arms. Sasuke, I need you and Itachi to watch over Izumi and Yugito until I say not to. Get some training in today, and then you are not to leave their sides, understood? The rest of the branches are protecting the other high-value members of Konoha. Me, Tsunade, and Jiraiya are going to fight them head-on when they get here. Wait, what? Questioned Sasuke, his eyes twitching violently as he tried to connect his prior knowledge with his partner's mumblings. Akatsuki is going to make a move against us soon enough. Jiraiya confirmed that. With Akatsuki, anything is possible. I would like to think that it would be their lower members, but seeing as I am the only SS-ranked ninja known in the world, they won't send the expendable lower-class members. Stated Naruto, as he sat up, his eyes yellow with a black bar for pupils, showing he was in sage mode. You think the leader is going to come? Itachi said that he calls himself a god, and that he's never lost. He even beat Hanzo the Salamander to become the leader of AIM. Stated Sasuke, as he sat on the couch across from Naruto's desk. He's the only confirmed member of Akatsuki to have the strength to be able to invade a village for only me. Stated Naruto, the sage mode fading from his eyes. Yay, but if he's that strong, then why wouldn't you want everyone helping you? Questioned Sasuke. Because if the leader is planning to fight me and hold me in one spot, then it's the best time to take out the other Jinchuriki. I've already alerted Gaara, but Yugito and Izumi will be less protected than usual with me fighting, and only you and the branches are strong enough to combat them. Sakura is going to be accompanying you, and Itachi, as well. Stated Naruto. So basically, you, Jiraiya, and Tsunade are going to fight the leader, while me, Itachi, and Sakura are going to be fighting with Yugito and Izumi, while Kakashi, Asuma, Shizune, Guy, and Zabuza are going to fighting off any other invading forces? Questioned Sasuke. Pretty much, yay. I am starting the attacks in 4 days' time. I would like for you to send some men to help create chaos in the village while I capture and kill my targets. Stated the orange-haired man that stood in the shadows of the Tsuchikage's office. Are you saying that you're not strong enough? I thought you were a god, questioned Katsuchi, growing angry with the man. I have the strength, but strength is nothing without a plan, and without a plan, you have no chance of success. Stated the purple-eyed man. Fine. I will send 10 Jonin, 10 Chunin, and 10 Genin. Outside the door. The young tribune stood outside the door that led to the Tsuchikage's office, his ear pressed up against a wall next to the door to better hear the conversation. Jonin, 10 Chunin, and 10 Genin. If he gets directly involved in this, then Iwa will be destroyed. Even if this guy could completely leave Konoha, we would still have Kumo, Suna, Kiri, and a handful of the smaller countries to deal with, thought Tribune worriedly. I need to leave this village. The only reason to stay is uncle, and he's not even my real uncle. I'm going to Konoha, even if they kill me, I'll still be rid of this village. Unknown. Madara, are you sure you know what you're doing? He's strong, maybe even stronger than you. Stated Kisame, who had no idea the man he was talking to wasn't Madara Uchiha, but Obito Uchiha. I know he's strong. He's Sensei's and Kushina's kid. Shouted Toby mentally. It won't be a problem. He can't touch me. Then again, Sensei hit me after only seeing the jutsu once. But you probably won't be able to touch him either. And with those attacks that can level villages, plus he has more chakra than all of us combined, not even you can defend from an attack that expands for miles. Stated Kisame, his usually beady eyes trained on the Uchiha in front of him. Hopefully Nagato can kill him. Even if I have to wait 3 more years for Kyuubi to manifest, it's better than just letting him continue to pick off my pawns," thought Toby as he turned away from Kisum. "Be ready to kill him if the desired outcome is not achieved. My goal will come to fruition. Damn it. What are you up to, Madara? You disappear, and now I can't find you." Konoha, Sasuke, and Itachi were busy sparring. Well, they call it sparring, but seeing as they were in Naruto's special playing grounds training grounds, and both were surrounded by 20-foot-tall purple chakra samurai cloaks, it wasn't too easy to actually call it sparring. "Naruto says that he expects Akatsuki to attack any day now, and you still haven't told me about Pain and his abilities," stated Sasuke as he motioned his arm, making his Susanoo send an arrow at his brother, only for Itachi to block it and return with a slash which was narrowly avoided. "It does not matter. If you see him, sense him, or even hear him, run. Only Naruto and maybe Jiraiya-sama can defeat him. We would be hard-pressed to," stated Itachi as he closed his eyes for a moment before he opened them and aimed an Amaterasu blast at his younger brother's chakra construct. "We are 2 of the strongest ninjas in the world. Without eternal Manjutsu Sharingans, we are almost unstoppable." "How strong is this man?" questioned Sasuke. "He's no man, he's a god." With Naruto, next day. "Come on, you're faster than Izumi. Re-me. Throw the senbon," shouted Naruto from his spot looking over training ground 7. Next to him sat Shisui, who had twisted his ankle when he tried to shunshin mid-shunshin, something Naruto had said Shisui Sr. was able to do. "Sensei, why are you pushing Izumi so hard lately? He already can use the first tail, and he can use earth and water jutsu almost as well as you can," questioned Shisui. "You know how we don't know who Azuma's parents are, right?" questioned Naruto as they watched Izumi dodge a needle. "Yay, did you find them?" asked Shisui excitedly. "No, but his latest blood test came back very interesting. You 2 are much closer than you think, and at the same time, your natural enemies," hinted at Naruto with a smirk. "Huh? How does that work?" "The only enemies of the Uzumaki were Kaguya of the Mist, and the only enemies of the No Way You Think Izumi." Shisui was cut off when Naruto replied. "I don't think I know. I've seen the test myself," stated Naruto, his eyes trained on the 10-year Jinchuriki. "Are you going to tell him?" questioned Shisui, knowing it would only hurt his friend's feelings knowing that he still didn't have any family. "If he ever figures it out or unlocks it, I'll tell him. But until then, let's not. It will only make him sad." With Shikamaru. "Shika. Get your lazy ass up," shouted Ino, standing over the Nara in question, who was laying across the mission desk. "Troublesome woman, what do you want?" "Chaoji and Shino already cleared out the D ranks for the day," stated Shikamaru lazily as he sat back in his chair. "Me and Haku wanted to go shopping, and I was wondering where Choji-kun was," stated Ino, motioning her head to the ice user behind her. "Hey, Haku checked the Inuzuka compound. They have 2 missions there before they head over to Naruto house to pick up all the trash from the prank war that the kids had." Suna. Gaara sat at his desk, working on paperwork when his sister came into the room with her Genin team. "Hello Tamari, Genin, what might I help you with?" Gaara, cut out the emotionless shit, it's too early in the morning for that. Sighed Tamari, already borderline pissed off that her older male Genin kept hitting on her. "Or what? Going to have your boyfriend beat me up?" questioned Gaara with a smirk. "I would never beat you up Kazuki-sama," stated the older male Genin, completely clueless to the fact that Tamari already had a boyfriend. "You wouldn't be able to, there are very few in this world that could, and it just so happens that Tamari's actual boyfriend is the only one that I fear enough for that to be a threat," stated Gaara emotionlessly, though on the inside he was laughing hysterically. "Yeah, right. There's no way he's tougher than me. I'll kick his ass, then I'll have Tamari-chan's hand in marriage," stated the Genin with vigor. "I'd like to see you try, run. And Tamari is her own person, so even if you did the impossible and beat me, you still wouldn't get her hand in marriage," stated a low voice behind the group of Genin, who spun around to see the imposing figure of Naruto standing over them in his great-grandfather blue battle armor. "Who the hell are you? What do you mean that you're her boyfriend?" questioned the lone female Genin. "Seriously? Didn't either of you learn anything in the academy?" mumbled the third Genin. "He's the Hokage. He's the one that beat Kazuki-sama in the exams 3 years ago. Nice of you to drop in on Hokage Dono, but I must request that you not threaten my Genin," stated Gaara, getting the group of Genin to turn back to him But their attention was brought back to the Hokage as their sensei leaped into his arms. Naruto-kun. Temari smiled seductively before planting her lips on his in a long kiss before breaking apart. "It's been forever. I saw you 8 days ago," deadpanned Naruto. "And that was a long 8 days," stated Temari in a seductive voice. "If you two are going to fuck, at least get out of my office first," commented Gaara, getting a blush from the two blondes and a glare from the genin that had been hitting on Temari. "I'd love to, but this is more important," stated Naruto as he pulled out black scroll with red clouds on it. Temari understood that it was private material. "Let's go, kids, you might think you're good, but until you can beat me, you're nothing." Temari moved to leave, but spun around and whispered into the blonde man's ear. A moment later, Naruto was frozen in place, his eyes wide and his nose bleeding. "Kiri. Why do I suddenly feel happy in a harem? Did Naruto do something I like? Who am I kidding? He can use me any way he wants to, and I'd still love it." It must be one of the other blondes, thought the Mizuki as she sat behind her desk. "I really miss him. If I have time I'll signal him this weekend. Taki. To whom it may concern. The goddamn Hokage, I'm offering assistance to you and your village. We have some disturbing news that your Jinchuriki, who I believe her name is in danger from a rogue group hunting her and all other Jinchuriki, myself, and the Kazekage included, for the Biju they carry. I do not know if any have been captured, but the Rakubi is missing from Kiri, and Iwa does not protect their Jinchuriki. Attached is a one-time use Horatian seal that will signal myself to aid if your village or few are attacked. Best wishes. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Senju." "Ha, right. I'm glad that little monster and her guardian are dead. Now our village can thrive," stated a shadow-cloaked man as he ripped up the letter and burnt it. "Iwa. What do you mean we can't find Hana Rashi?" questioned Katsuchi. "Those fucking useless idiots, they are Iwa's weapons. Why don't those damn Jinchuriki understand that? They haven't reported on it for the last 2 months," stated adjoining with a log book in his hands. "I bet it was those Konoha bastards," stated another jonin. "Maybe Kumo, they have the power to pull it off, but Konoha was busy with an influx of missions when Han disappeared, and Rashi was in hiding on the edge of Iron Country, which means that Konoha would have had to go all the way around us to even touch him," stated the jonin with the log book. "It was neither," stated a voice behind Katsuchi, an orange-masked figure stepping out of a black portal. "It was I, Madara Uchiha. Suna. So you think that they will be attacking soon? Good, we will finally begin the end of the Akatsuki," stated Gaara with a grin. "It's not Gaara. I won't be able to save you or come to your aid if this fight happens. Jiraiya says that they're sending most of their forces to Konoha and the rest are coming after you," stated Naruto seriously. "Well, that's fine with me. You are not the only one who has gotten stronger, Naruto," stated Gaara with a smirk. He pulled a scroll from under his hat and handed it to Naruto. "I've never seen anyone keep a scroll under their hat. It's kind of ingenious. Who would think to look under your hat?" stated Naruto to himself as he opened the scroll. "You shared your jutsu with me, now it's time I return the favor," stated Gaara. "Even if my grandmother was an Uzumaki, you did not need to teach me the technique. And you're the only one I can think of that could use it the way I created it for. With Izumi. I did it. I did it," shouted Izumi, the front of his Chunin vest charred and his face bloody and cut. "That was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life," stated Rimi as she and the still limping Shisui looked on in awe. "He combined them? He actually did it. Not even Naruto ni can do that jutsu, and Izumi combined it with that," shouted Shisui as he threw his hands up, unfortunately letting go of Rimi and falling to the ground due to lack of balance. "Very impressive. I never would have thought he would have done it," stated Genma from behind the young couple. "With Temari. I don't know what you see in him," stated the genin once again. "Alright. I've had enough. You obviously didn't pay any attention in the academy, so I'll start from the beginning. Naruto-kun is the son and great-grandson of 2 of the 5 men to ever be marked as SS rank. His father was Minato Namikaze, the Yellow Flash, the man that literally single-handedly ended the Third Great War, and his great-grandfather was Tobirama Senju, a man that was referred to as the Water God due to his ability to actually manipulate oceans. Then you and his mother, Kushina Uzumaki, the Red Death, who while being the first female to S-rank status other than Tsunade Senju, also was the most feared Kenjutsu user of all time due to her near-limitless stamina and ability to move so fast that all the enemy could see was a red mass of hair and blood. "Are you with me so far?" questioned Temari, not caring if the genin actually paid attention. Now, let's move on to Naruto. He's the first man to ever be ranked a triple SH shinobi. He is the greatest wind user in the world, maybe ever, along with the fact that he can use all elements at will. He's the fastest man alive, most likely the strongest, as well, seeing as he threw Gaara in his fully transformed state roughly 100 feet in the air when he was 12. His Dōjutsu is near unbeatable, and he's so adept at breaking Genjutsu that not even a member of Kusa's Gento clan can use Genjutsu on him. His Kenjutsu is better than anyone he's ever faced, and he personally redid Gaara's seal. He's even so skilled with a kunai that he can hit a person dead between the eyes by just sending them. So yay, I see a lot in him. It also helps that he's ridiculously nice and has a huge Kumo. B. Shouted A for what seemed to be the millionth time in his life. Stop trying to hit on Mabui. It's alright Raikage-sama, I know that's just the way he is. Stated Mabui. Yay bro, I'm not really putting on the flow, if I did then she would have already fallen victim to the mojo. Stated B, as he sat down in the chair across from A. It amazes me that you can actually rap well and still sound retarded at the same time. Stated A in wonder, before he got back on track. Anyway, you know about the string of grave thefts lately. No doubt. Did you find another grave that was a body without? Question B. You know what? From now on, no more rapping in my office. Stated A with a sigh. The latest one was Dad's grave. With the branches, next. Kakashi started Shizune. What was that? Honey, I'm researching for our anniversary, lied Kakashi as he hid his second book behind his back when Asuma expertly took it and hid it. Enough. Not no Kakashi. Shouted Zabuza. Everyone. No training for the next week. Gakus got us on standby until this whole Akatsuki thing blows over, so stay fresh. Other than that, today we were on call, tomorrow we begin working in groups. It's Kakashi, and Guy, Asuma, and Shizune, and I'll be with myself in Itachi and Sasuke's area. Got it? Sounds like a plan. I like it. I'm good. Youth. Alright. Get some rest. Over Konoha. 6 men hovered over the barrier that surrounded Konoha, each with a matching black cloak adorned with red clouds. They spoke as one. Soon, the world will know pain. Pain will bring peace. Soon the world will know pain. Pain will bring peace, stating the 6 paths as they hovered over the village. Under me, this world will become one. Only through me can this broken world become one. The Diva Path raised his right hand. This world shatters. Shinra tens. Rasengan. The Diva Path's eyes were nearly torn from his head when his chest was ripped apart and torn from the rest of his body by the swirling ball of vicious compressed chakra. What? How did he get into the sky? How did he remain undetected? He's using wind chakra to offset the pull of gravity. Questioned Nagato as he watched from a distance as the Godame Hokage appeared 500 feet in the air and defeated his Diva Path before he could flatten the village. Where are the salamanders? They were supposed to distract him while I burnt down the forest and the outer wall. Nagato looked down on the village from his elevated position, and his shock grew as he saw all 5 of the giant salamanders he had summoned revert into smoke. At each site stood a man, more specifically, the 5 clouds of smoke revealed Zabuza, Asuma, Guy, Kakashi, and the final bee he spotted both scared and enraged him. Jiraiya. Before he knew it, his combined vision started to disappear. He watched in anger as each path was destroyed. The animal and pre-top path were cut in half and basically detonated by the legendary Splash Sword. Then the Asura path was beheaded with a kick to the neck, followed by Nakara path, which fell to the still-powered Rasengan before Naruto paused in the air, and the Rasengan in his hand grew white and began screeching horribly, forcing Nagato himself to cringe in pain from the technique he could hear from almost a mile away. Consider yourself shit out of luck. Stated the still hovering Naruto as the screeching noise from his Rasengan grew even worse. I know exactly where you are, and so does Jiraiya. Rasen Shuriken, level 4. The spinning ball of wind chakra grew 4 sets of rotating blades as the screeching reached a fever pitch and Naruto drew his arm back. It's over. The Rasen Shuriken left Naruto's hand and went through the last path like a hot knife through butter before curving down and directly toward a still perfectly calm Nagato. "So much power I can't absorb that," mumbled Nagato as he jumped away with every ounce of speed he had, just barely knocking his side as one of the giant wind blades sniped his left rib cage. "Nakara path," thought Nagato as his side began to heal. "That attack, it's hard to heal the damage from it." Suna. Gaara frowned deeply as he looked over his village. He stood at the top of the Kazukiage Tower, to the south of him, levitating on a giant clay bird, and was a member of Akatsuki. "Those damn bombs of his are a danger to my village, and, as long as he can move freely, he can attack from any angle." "Where is his partner? Come on, our little Shukaku." "Katsu," shouted the blonde bomber Dodara as he sent more of his creations towards high-value targets, though he frowned when he witnessed the desert itself reach up and block the explosions like they were insects. So he can control the very desert that his village is made up of. "I found Cage, indeed it's a waste of art to continue to attack his village. I'll just attack him. As long as he doesn't send anything more powerful, he won't be able to damage the village. I need to kill him before he does." "Naruto, are you fighting right now too?" thought Gaara as he gathered sand beneath his feet and levitated high above the village. "If you continue to attack my village, you will die. Leave now, Akatsuki, and never return. I'm going to have to decline. You see, you're very important to us little Shukaku, and I have to make sure that you come with us," stated Dodara as he pulled his hands out of the pouches. "C2 Dragon. With Yugito. Nibi style. Hell Flames Jutsu," shouted Yugito as she blew blue flames from her mouth, aiming them at the two men in black cloaks. "Fuck. Knock it off, bitch. That fucking hurts," shouted the silver-haired Haiden as he looked at his smoldering right arm. "Stop complaining, Haiden," shouted the tall imposing figure of Kakazu, who was currently doing his best to get a hold of the two-tailed Jinchuuriki. Kisame was having problems of his own. "Stay still, you little gaki. Toby thinks we should just ask nicely. That way we can all be friends," shouted Toby. "So this is the three-tailed container. Seems the Namikaze brat really did take him in." Toby looked around the battlefield. They were stationed in the expansive training ground behind the Namikaze compound. "Sensei, your house is beautiful. I'll have to remember that for the infinite Tsukiyomi. Naruto said that you guys were bad people." "I don't like bad people," shouted Azumi as he started pumping Sanbus chakra through his body, gaining a purple cloak. "Pain." Nagato stood still in the middle of the clearing he was currently occupying. His face was stretched thin as he struggled to maintain his indifferent appearance. "Nagato, you've grown so much. When the man I was assigned to look over the three stopped reporting, I thought you had died," stated Jiraiya as he looked over to the dismantled body of the Diva Path, easily recognizing it as Yuhiko. "Are you the only one left? Sensei Konan lives, as well. You taught us much, Sensei. It's because of your worlds that I will unify this world under myself. I am God, and I will bring peace. Even if it's one piece at a time," stated the monotone Nagato, his eyes snapping to Naruto as he descended from above and crushed the area Nagato had been standing in. "Under different circumstances, I would be happy to invite you to my village, but unfortunately, you are now a threat and must be dealt with. I'm giving you one chance. You are the leader of the group hunting my family. End this now," stated Naruto in such a commanding voice that Nagato found himself actually thinking about accepting his offer. "Almost. Foolish mortal, you have no authority over a god. Shinra Tensei." A wave erupted from Nagato in all directions, batting away Tsunade, who had been sneaking up behind the red-headed, hoping to end him before the fight even began. Jiraiya was no better. As he went tumbling away from the shock wave, though he wasn't the strongest Sannin for nothing, and easily righted himself and landed in a crouch a fair distance away, Tsunade did the same. Naruto, however, stood in place, seemingly not at all affected by the wave of gravity. "Shit. I was using chakra to stick to the ground, and I was still almost blown away. Is this really the power of the Rinnegan? Does that mean that I can do that as well?" Though Naruto contemplated the abilities his eyes seemed capable of giving him. "It doesn't matter, I can't test it now and leave myself open if it doesn't work." How did he know Bachan was coming up behind him? She had her chakra suppressed and was moving silently. "Now I will give you one chance, Hokage. Come quietly and your village will be spared," stated Nagato. His monotone voice added to the threatening nature of the request. "You're a terrible liar. I can sense 4 others in my village. One of them is Kisame. If I leave now, you will still attack to gain Yugito and Azumi. stated Naruto as he once more formed a Rasengan in his hand. I can't get close enough to actually use my Taijutsu on you because of that pressure wave of yours, but I doubt you can dodge this again from this close Rasen Shuriken level 4. Foolish, stated Nagato as he simply raised an arm to the giant disc of wind chakra. Pre-top path. I hope I can absorb this much chakra at once. Naruto watched in horror as his third most powerful attack was simply negated by his opponent simply holding his hand up. Seriously. He can absorb jutsu as well. I'm running out of viable options. If I use anything bigger than level 4 Rasen Shuriken, I could wipe out the village, but he can just absorb those. If I try to use Hiraishin, he can just deflect the kunai away, and if I try to use it Sealess, he might still be able to absorb it. Nagato was having thoughts of his own. Absorbing that jutsu almost overloaded my system, and he doesn't even look winded. His reserves are on par with mine, most likely much higher. I can't risk having to do that again, and if I disperse it with Shinra Tensei, then he could be able to get to me within the 5 seconds it takes to recharge. My skills with the Asura path are my weakest, and even if I can hold my own against him in Taijutsu, Sensei and his teammate will be back soon. I'll waste some chakra by summoning as many animals as possible to distract Sensei and the other Sannin, and I'll take the Jinchuriki. Animal path, attack of 50 beasts. Nagato slammed his hand into the ground, and a mountain of smoke erupted beneath him. Naruto took this as the sign to summon his own help. Summoning technique. Grand Toad Alliance. When the dust cleared, Pain stood above a literal army of two-headed dogs, centipedes, birds, and rhinos. Naruto stood in the head of Gamabunta, to his right was Gamahiro, and on his left was Gamaken. On his shoulders were the elder toads. Naruto boy. Why would you need all of Nevermind? Stated Pa, as he looked out at the army of strange animals. Those aren't normal summons. I need you 5 to hold them off until Jiraiya and Tsunade can get here. Can you do that for me? Questioned Naruto. Not a problem Gaki. I've been wanting a rhino pelt for a while now. Stated Gamabunta as he unsheathed his sword. You take the red head, kid, we'll handle his pets. Meanwhile, Nagato was once again cursing. There's more than one boss toad? Does that mean that there's more than one boss slug as well? That used a quarter of my chakra, and I still haven't noticed his chakra level drop at all. Alright, I can't use ninjutsu, and because of that pressure wave thing I don't know if I will be able to use Tire Kenjutsu. That leaves Jinjutsu, and Fuinjutsu. I hope you were right about this pervy sage, cause I don't know anything else that wouldn't be a gamble. Destruction wave. Naruto charged chakra to his fist and punched the ground, causing huge ripples of earth to explode outward, turning the once flat clearing into a field of drastic hills and jagged peaks. Or at least that's what it looked like to Nagato. The power of that punch was enough to ripple the earth over 300 feet in each direction. If I get hit by that, I may not be able to heal myself. I need to force him to keep his distance, that way he needs to use ninjutsu, but if he finds out the weakness of the Shinra Tensei, he can get close Shinra Tensei. Naruto reapplied the chakra to his feet and reinforced his body with earth chakra. I need to get close and force him to move around so that the Jinjutsu starts affecting his movement. Just as soon as this jutsu passes me. Naruto forced his body to stay in place against the force of the gravity wave, but was only partially successful as he stayed upright but was pushed backwards roughly 10 feet. Come on any second now. Naruto shot at Nagato like he was running from death itself. In a millisecond he had closed the sizable gap between them, his eyes at the level just below the Rinnegan, not wanting to reveal it yet, but still needing the boost in strength, speed, endurance, reflexes, and boosted chakra control. His eyes shifted as he entered Sage mode, the whites of his eyes now blue as his pupil became a golden star. Uzumaki style. Meteor punch. Shit. No time to dodge. Asura path. Stated Nagato as he sprouted another set of arms to shield himself, while another set of legs and chakra helped him stay upright. Unfortunately for Nagato, his opponent had charged his punch with wind chakra. Naruto punched straight through the extra set of arms, his fist now millimeters away from Nagato's neck. Pre-top path. Nagato had activated it just in time to strip the wind chakra away from the punch, but still took the brute force of it to his upper chest, resulting in him flying away at speeds he couldn't even track. Thinking quickly, Nagato coated himself in the black rods he used to disrupt chakra, making a cocoon to protect himself from the damage that was sure to come from hitting whatever was in his path, while also activating his Nakara path to heal the crater in his chest. Naruto, however, saw an opportunity as he moved to follow up the punch. Those rods look metal. If I can get him with a lightning attack, I can end this. Though Naruto, as he raced after the flying Redeed, hand signs flashing at speeds that would make Hiruzen Sarutobi green with envy. As he approached the rapidly slowing Nagato, he held his hand up to the sky. Kenjutsu style. God's wrath. Nagato watched him in horror as a lightning bolt, a real lightning bolt, rocketed down at him while he was still airborne. He can control real lightning? I can't absorb that. Shinra Tensei. The burst of gravity deflected the oncoming lightning bolt out into the wilderness, while Naruto, who was still airborne, was thrown backwards. Nagato used his armored form to contort and land safely on the ground before he sprung forward, hoping to catch the blonde before he regained his bearings. I have no choice, his ninjutsu arsenal is the perfect match for mine, and any genjutsu I use would be useless because of his Sage mode and the Kyuubi. All I have to do is get close and impair him with a chakra rod. Then he won't be able to use Sage mode. Meanwhile, Naruto was grinning from ear to ear. So there's a 5-second gap between when he can use that pressure wave jutsu, all I have to do is get close in that time. And my clone managed to tag him. Suna. This is why Iwa is the weakest of all the villages. Taunted Gaara from a floating platform of sand which was hovering over the south wall of the village. I've pushed him out of the village. But with those bombs, I can't attack, or he will just blow up the wall and find a way back in. I hope this jutsu of yours works for Naruto. Are at a stalemate, I can't afford to waste any clay, and he knows that, if he attacks I'll target the village. Leader Sama wasn't kidding when he said this little brat was good. He can command the desert and even fly with the same skill I can. I need to end this fast. Where are you, Sasori? Uzumaki style. Sand dragon. Shouted Gaara as a truly giant sand dragon rose from the desert below and began going after Deidara, using its surprising speed and power to force the blonde bomber to use up more chakra to stay ahead of it. He's forcing me to use more chakra. He for sure has more than me, but is his control more refined than mine? Surely he can't control his massive amount of chakra the same way I can. That's it. I'll put nano bombs in his sand. That way I can just wait until he uses another shield and take him out. Thank you again, Naruto. This is perfect. With the shadow clone-like properties of the sand dragon, I don't have to continuously add chakra, and because it has a mind of its own, I can let it attack while I defend. Thought Gaara excitedly, while he looked out at his sand dragon that seemed to grow stronger with each passing minute. Yugito and Azumi. This isn't working. That sword takes my chakra cloak away, and even when I get past the fish guy, I can't hit mask guy. Thought Azumi. As he held his two thunder swords in a cross guard, waiting for one of his opponents to move. You're good, Gaki, real good. Stated Kisum with his patented shark-like grin. You're the only Chunin to ever last more than a minute with me, and the way you handle Raiga's swords is admirable, as well. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to end this. Toby wants to capture him. You never let Toby have any fun. Stated the childish Toby. I love acting like that. Plus it was the Sanbi that got Rin killed. I wonder where Kakashi is? Probably fending off that peon's salamanders. Be my guest, I don't really want to hurt the kid anyway, and you can be less destructive than me. Smiled Kisum. Not going to happen, shark breath. A new voice came. Another child that appeared to be Azumi's age showed up, both him and the young girl behind him wearing Chunin vests. Team Naruto stands together. I won't let you harm my teammate. Hey, look at Kisum. A Sharingan user. I thought only Itachi and Sasuke had the Sharingan? Questioned Toby, though on the inside, he was pissed. This boy has a fully developed Sharingan? How is that possible? He doesn't even have Uchiha black hair. His hair is red. His hair is red. There's an Uzumaki and Uchiha hybrid. Why didn't I know about this? Meanwhile, Yugito was having troubles of her own. Goddamn freaks. The tall one can literally sew himself back together, and the silver-haired one can't die at all. I've hit him twice with Hellfire, and I can't seem to do any real damage. Gah. You fucking bitch. Do you have any idea how much that hurts? Shouted the silver-haired man. Who was still coated in blue fire. Shut up, Haiden. It's not like it does any real damage to you anyway. Just focus on capturing her, so we can move on to the other high bounties. Stated Kakazu angrily, being tired of his partners complaining. You have some pretty high goals for yourself, especially considering that neither of you have managed to touch me," stated Yugito, reapplying her chakra cloak. "Okay, from what Jiraiya told me, as long as the silver-haired one doesn't get any of my blood, he can't do anything. Using my chakra cloak eliminates that possibility. But the other one, I have to either kill him 5 times or destroy all of his masks. I already got the water one, which means I need to take out 4 more. This isn't good. She already got my water heart, and my wind and fire heart are useless against her as long as that chakra cloak stays up, and I can't use my earth heart because I'm using it to block her in. If I attack with it, she could get away with her superior speed," thought Kakazu wearily. False darkness. The branches. So, Iwa has stayed in this little invasion as well. Seems that you're as cowardly now as you were when Sensei had you running with your tail between your legs, stated Kakashi as he pulled his headband up. "Shut your mouth, Konoha scum. Iwa will control the world when your Hokage dies today. Our leader sent us here to wipe you out. With your dead Haddock, we will finally have revenge on the Yellow Flash," stated on of the 10 Jonin. "You're fools. Your leader sent you to your deaths," stated Zabuza as he pulled his sword off of his back. "And not to burst your bubble or anything, but Naruto is much stronger than Lord Minato ever was," stated Asuma as he brandished his trench knives. "Yash. I have not been this excited since the Chunin exams. Prepare to meet your end," shouted Guy as he slipped into his Goken stance. Top of Mount Izuna. Atop the mountain that stood over the horizon of the village hidden in the leaves, 2 figures stood, their backs to the sun, as their silhouettes cast a long and imposing shadow that seemed to stretch for miles, making it impossible to see their faces. "He's very good," stated the long-haired man who was watching the battle between Nagato and Naruto. "But not good enough." "What do you mean, grandfather?" "He is the strongest man in the world. When he defeats pain, he will ascend to godlike status," stated the other, who had short hair and a sword peeking over his left shoulder. "You have much to learn. Even in your surprising wisdom, you do not see the powerful enemies that his future holds. No, he is not strong enough. Not yet," stated the long-haired one, his eyes never leaving the blonde-haired Hokage. "But he is about to take down a god. What level is above a god?" questioned the short-haired figure. "Do not mistake the fact that he has the Rinnegan as him being a god. They are not his own eyes, and he hasn't even unlocked a 10th of their power. Compared to the Sage of 6 Paths, he is but an academy student," stated the long-haired one. "And do not automatically assume that he will win. Though there is a good chance he will, Nagato is very strong in his own right. If he is as far away from the sage as you say, then how powerful are his potential enemies?" questioned the short-haired man. "I was a true god, and I even fell for Hashirama. There are forces at play that are even beyond what I once was. He will need strong companions to deal with these foes, and he will need even stronger abilities," stated the long-haired man, who turned his head, revealing a red Sharingan eye with a unique pattern, the pattern of Madara Uchiha. "Remember, Shisui, no matter how strong you think you are, there are always beings out there that are stronger." Thanks for watching my video. Leave a like if you enjoyed my video, and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. If you want the next part of this story, let me know in the comment box. See you next time. Till then, sayonara.